Say cheese! Hello everyone and welcome to another painting on my Polaroids, but this time I'm going to be using Posca Pens because I'm obsessed. Remember this little guy? I used gouache the last time I did this, but I want to use Posca Pens. And I'm also going to be using the chemicals that come out from the little pouch on the bottom of the pictures to create something using a weird abstract shape I get. But before we get into it, I have a sponsor to thank. Take it away, Kasey. Will do! Are you always drawing? Do you have ears? I don't. Today's sponsor is perfect for you. It's Audible. It's pretty great for me too because I get to stuff my face without dirtying up any book pages. Audible members now get 1 free audiobook every month and 2 free Audible originals. But good luck choosing your books because there's a lot out there. As a famous YouTuber myself, it's really neat that you can find a lot of books written by fellow YouTubers on Audible, including one that I've been listening to recently titled An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, which I thought would be about food because what's more remarkable than food? Either way, it's a good book. Would recommend. Go to audible.com/KaseyGolden or text KaseyGolden to 500 to get 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. That's more than half off the regular price. Woo! Thank you, Kasey. Let's get to painting. So today I'm going to be using this expired film packet because it's useless for taking pictures, so I thought I would, doodle on them. If you don't have your own instant film or camera, you can always make your own by cutting out a frame and making your own image. You put them together and it looks like your own instant film. This is a little Posca test I did. See, it looks just like an instant picture. I think it's pretty cute. And you could also put some plastic in there to create that shiny effect, so that could be an extra step you do. But like I said, I'm going to be using this expired film, so let's get started with destroying it. I'm going to open it upside down so I don't start developing each image underneath. So let's start off by taking out the protective sheet on top, and then we're going to start rolling the chemicals are in these little pouches here. See, now I'm starting to develop the image because it's seen sunlight. So I'm actually gonna roll this on here to bust that liquid, as you can see, and I'm just going to roll it and create something abstract. And as I let it develop and just kind of do its thing, I can keep moving it and creating something abstract. So I don't want to go too far up because I do want room to draw something myself, but this is how you get some weird abstract stuff. So there you go. There's our first abstract developed piece. Let's just keep doing some more of these and see what we can come up with. Our last one. I'm going to continue to let these guys develop until they are finished, so I will see you guys in a second to see what they look like. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Let's see what they look like. Oh, they're still kind of purpley. I'm not sure if I should have waited longer or what, but they're really interesting and fun. We've got a lot of variety of shapes and stuff to work with, so I'm really excited to do these 8 things and just see what we can come up with. I'm not sure where I'm gonna go. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be fun. So let's just get into it. Because all of these, I guess I would call blobs, were basically white and purple at the time. They have now since all turned a deep blue color. I was getting a lot of cool vibes, and I use a lot of cool colors in these because it just felt natural, I guess, to go along with the purple colors. So right away, I thought that this looked sort of like a mountain range, maybe somewhere very, very cold with lots of ice. Maybe up north where you can see the northern lights, which is exactly what I colored in for this. It was really hard doing the northern lights with Posca Pens. It's not something I've practiced. Posca Pens aren't the best for blending, and I was getting a really weird sort of reaction with the Posca Pens to the slippery surface of the Polaroid film. Because it's a slippery texture, it wasn't drying very quickly, and it also kind of rubbed off when you went over it a second time. But I do think this one's very cute, and I really like the way it turned out. In the center, there's a flower. Maybe it's some sort of special ice flower. It's very peaceful, and I like that. At this point, I was finding it a little hard not to think about some sort of landscape or just rocks or something. I did want to keep the orientation of most of these pictures to be the original thicker frame on the bottom orientation without rotating it to the side or anything, which I felt like it would be limiting because all of the blobs were coming from the bottom, but I did like how that added an extra challenge that I was stuck with that orientation. So for this one, I thought with all the little tiny sort of rock things at the bottom, it looked like maybe coral. And then the little slit reminded me of a hole or something. So I thought maybe there was an eel coming out of it. So that's what I drew. As you can see, this is a good example about how some of the Posca pens didn't react quite as well. If the ink wasn't very thick and juicy at the time and it was sort of thin and watery, it was not going to go down in a solid color. So this yellow is very streaky, which I tried to distract with some lines. Overall though, I really do like this one. I think it's cute and all the little fishy shadows are pretty adorable. This next one was probably one of the hardest ones to figure out, but right away I knew I saw a sort of cat shape, the two little ears, the mouth, and a tail in the back. I had a few ideas for this one. Maybe someone was sculpting this because the color is this white and purple. It kind of looks like marble to me. So maybe someone was shaving away at this marble slab, making this really, really stupid cat shape because it did look kind of stupid. But then I just thought maybe I would make it into a lucky cat, make it look kind of stupid so it is still that stupid cat shape. And then I just wanted to make this not a background or not a scene because I saw the other shapes and I knew I was going to keep doing that. So I made it into a cat, put some action marks and colors behind it, and just made it into its own little character thing. Look, it was a struggle, okay? This particular illustration is probably my favorite of the bunch. I just really think it came together really well, especially for using that shape. All I could see was two cliffs that were barely touching together, and I had quite a few ideas that came to mind. Maybe someone was crossing a bridge, maybe there was an adventurer, maybe this looked like a platform game. I could put some items in there. But with the different layers, I saw a cave. So I wanted to put some glowing, creepy eyes in a cave, but I also wanted to put a lot of detail onto this cliff and on the top of it and put grass and flowers, and overall just use the texture of the chemicals to create that, I guess, rocky cliff and just make it look like a cute little scene that you would see if you were to go on a hike up a mountain or something, you know, if you were to leave the house out in nature. But then also there's a monster because that's always a fun little detail to put in. So I really like this one. I just think all of the little textures of the grass looked really nice and I liked it. Quite the interesting shape to work with, and I had a couple of things I thought about, but the one that I really wanted to go with was, of course, a wave. This shape was the weirdest and most different shape out of all of them. Most of them are these fat, bulky sort of shapes, but I really went for it with this one and really pushed the chemicals to the side. So with this one, I thought it would be fun to draw a surfer on a wave, and I really went for the textures on this one to make it look more like a wave. Though I do think I fell quite flat on the background. I wanted to use that weird brown background for something. This was not the image to do it with, but that's okay, we will survive. We have this goofy little squid guy surfing on a wave in the sun. He's baking and dying. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, aside from a proper sky background, I just felt like I had done that so many times that I couldn't do it again. Oh well, I can forgive a weird brown background for this goofy guy. This particular particular shape I was really looking forward to working on because I saw a bear and I was so excited to create something with a bear, but then there was this blob next to it and I felt like that just threw me off and I just had no idea what to do, so I turned it into a tombstone. Because why not? I turned this bear into a very sad bear, and then I thought about giving it some sort of funeral clothes, and then I kind of donked it up, so I turned it into this really big shawl sort of scarf thing because I left it white to show the shape so it's like a polar bear, but polar bears aren't cold in the snow, but it has to wear something black because it's a funeral. And then I kept it to a very, very limited color palette, which I'm not a super fan of, but it's okay. It's got black and gray and blue, and that's it. It really helps bring the attention to that white bear. His face is really cute, he's sad, but you know, it's a bear at a funeral in the rain. That's kind of sad, huh? Poor bear. So this is definitely one of my favorites because it has, well, it's an action pose compared to most of my other ones, which are very still. So this was a really weird shape. I thought about making some really cool fire with some meat roasting on it or something, but then I thought that might be kind of boring. Let's go with something a little more exciting. I see a shark face and I see an eyeball. Let's make this a shark head chasing a poor fish down in the water. Now this one is almost one where I rotated the frame. I do wish I had the water fading from light to dark if you were to hold the frame up, but I thought it would make more sense if the fish was kind of going parallel with the water surface instead of upwards, like it's going to splash out of the water, but that's all right. I think it also helped it create that motion of them, I guess, going fast in the water. I also just really seem to like underwater illustrations when it comes to these simple Posca Pen drawings. It looks really cute. Plus you can put all those fish shadows in, which look really good. But yeah, I really like this one. The eyes, the mouth, the fish, they turned out really well and I really like it. And our last but not least abstract shape to work with. I actually really like this one as well, so I'm glad we can end on a very positive note. There were these 3 different shapes and all I could see were maybe weird stone statues in the middle of nowhere looking pretty dang cute. I think I was really inspired with the 4th one with the cliffs with the grass and the flowers on it, so I really wanted to do that again because I liked the way it looked, so why not do it 500 more times? So these guys are pretty cute. We have a little dog in the middle. I thought it looked like a dog shape sitting down with his little tongue hanging out. Next to him, we have this sort of old man. And then next to that, we just have this rock with a face on it because I just didn't know what else to do. And then I covered them with grass, which Posca Pens are really great for layering because they are very opaque and you can layer them quite well. So I just put a bunch of grass on them. I think the colors go really well. It's a pretty pastel looking illustration. The blues are nice, the greens are nice, the pink I used for the flower is very nice. Overall, a nice, calming, cute, silly illustration. I like it, and I'm glad we could end on a positive note. I hope you guys enjoyed these instant picture doodles and go out there and make your own frames. Once again, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. Go out there and listen to an audiobook. Alright, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! And in case you were wondering what the picture at the beginning of the video looked like, isn't it beautiful?